The following presentation is for mature audiences only.
Who are you?
He's a fine man.
All hell is broken loose.
He's a great broadcaster.
He's a very powerful guy.
Absolutely brilliant.
Feared by men, adored by women.
He's a smart boy. It's patriotic.
It's no big deal.
It's the end of the world.
I might as well tell you now. He's a monkey.
And how you doing, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages? Welcome in to another edition of The Wild Side with Eric Clark. I am your host, Eric Clark, saying thank you for taking time out of your busy day to give my little video a watch and a listen. If you like it, like it. If you think other people are going to dig it, give it a share. Make sure you are subscribed to the YouTube channel and you are following me on all the social media platforms. That way, if there's a band, song, video, something you want me to check out, hit me up with a DM or leave it in the comments below. If you are going to hit me with a DM, please no spamming unless it's actual spam. And then there's a mailing address down below. If you are going to leave it in the comments, do me a favor, become a Concurpa. Join the I Concur Army. It's very simple. All you have to do is give the comments a cursory glance. If you see that your suggestion has already been made or you see a suggestion that makes you go, hell yeah, all you got to do is like that original suggestion and below reply with I concur. That'll help my old burnout resin-coated DJ brain get everything into a nice little organized list, and then I can get it into the handy dandy notebook. Also, twice a week, The Wild Side Live is coming at you from the east side of Music City every Wednesday at 11 a.m. and Saturdays 2 p.m. Central Time. 2 hours of fun and frivolity and another opportunity for you to get your suggestions to me or at least get linked to how you can get your suggestions to me. You can also ask me questions about radio, my time hanging out, 30 plus years around rock and roll, whatever it is just 2 hours hanging out and having a conversation. Before we get to today's video, I do want to say thank you to Connect 200 Music to See and Aunt Betty's Nut Butter. They are the proud sponsors of The Wild Side with Eric Clark, and to them, I say thank you. Today's video is coming high request. I have done 3 reactions to REN videos, and everyone in every video comment section has been telling me I need to do a reaction to High REN. The reason I've been putting it off is because I didn't want to get caught up in the massive wave of everybody doing a video breakdown of High REN. So I waited, just like I will during the zombie apocalypse, I waited for the wave to subside. And then I walked around and picked up all of the supplies that were left on the ground for me. So that's kind of how my mindset goes. Plus, I've been busy with my day job. So today we are checking out High REN from one of my favorite new artists out of Brighton, England. It's REN. Let's check it out.
A little while. Did you miss me? You thought you buried me, didn't you? Risky. Cause I always come back. Deep down you know that. Deep down you know I'm always in periphery. REN, on your pleased to see me. It's been weeks since we spoke, bro. I know you need me. You're the sheep, I'm the shepherd. Not your place to lead me. Not your place to be biting off the hand that feeds me. Hi REN. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself since my therapist told me I'm ill. And I've been making some progress lately. And I've learned some new coping skills. So I haven't really needed you much, man. I think we need to just step back and chill. Ren, you sound more insane than I do. You think that those doctors are really there to guide you? Been through this a million times. Your civilian mind is so perfect to always being lied to. Okay, take another pill, boy. Drown yourself in the sound of white noise. Follow this 10-step program, rejoice. All your problems will be gone. Fucking dumb boy. Nah, mate. This time is different, man. Trust me. I feel like things might be falling in place. And my music's been kinda doing bits too. Like I actually might do something great. And when I'm gone, maybe I'll be remembered for doing something special with myself. That's why I don't think that we should talk, man. Cause when you're with me, it never seems to help. You think that you can amputate me? I am you, you are me, you are I am we are one. Split in two, that makes one. So you see, you gotta kill you if you wanna kill me. I'm not leftover dinner, I'm not scraps on the side. Oh, your music is thriving, delusional guy. Where's your top 10 hit? Where's your interview with Oprah? Wow, your Grammys, Ren? Nowhere. Yeah, but my music's not commercial like that. I never chase numbers, statistics or stats. I never write hooks for the radio, they never even play me, so why would I concern myself with that? But my music is really connecting, and the people who find it respect it. And for me that's enough, cause this life's been tough, so it gives me a purpose I can rest in. Man, you sound so pretentious. Ren, your music is so self-centered. No one wants to hear another song about how much you hate yourself. Trust me. You should be so lucky, having me inside you to guide you, remind you to manage expectations, provide you perspective. That thing you neglected, I get it. You wanna be a big deal, next Jimi Hendrix, forget it. Man, it's not like that. Man, it's just like that. I'm inside you, you twat. No, it's not, man, you're wrong. When I write, I belong. Let me break the fourth wall by acknowledging this song. Ren sits down, has a stroke of genius. He wants to write a song that was not done previous. A battle with the subconscious, Eminem did it. Played on guitar, Plan B did it. Man, you're not original, you criminal rip-off artist. The pinnacle of your success is stealing other people's material. Ren, mate, we've heard it all before. She sells seashells on the seashore. Fuck you, I don't need you, I don't need to hear this. Cause I'm fine by myself, I'm a genius. And I will be great, and I will make waves, and I'll shake up the whole world beneath us. That's right, speak your truth, your fucking God complex leaks out of you. It's refreshing to actually hear you say it instead of downplay it.
Music is all about the creative process, and if people can find something to relate to within that, then that's just a bonus.
Fuck you, I'ma fucking kill you, Ren. Well, fucking kill me then, let's fucking have you, Ren. I'ma do it, watch me prove it. Who are you to doubt my music? Cause I call the shots, I choose if you die. Yeah, I call the shots and so I choose who survives. I'll tie you up in knots when I lock you inside. Newsflash, I was created at the dawn of creation. I am temptation. I am the snake in Eden. I am the reason for treason, beheading all kings. I am sin, with no rhyme or reason. Son of the morning, Lucifer, Antichrist, father of lies. Mephistophelies, truth in a blender, deceitful pretender, the banished avenger, the righteous surrender when standing in front of my solar eclipse. My name is stitched to your lips, so you see, I won't bow to the will of a mortal, feeble and normal. You wanna kill me? I'm eternal immortal. I live in every decision that catalyzes chaos, that causes division. I live inside death, the beginning of ends. I am you, you are me, I am you, Ren. Hi, Ren. I've been taking some time to be distant. I've been taking some time to be still. I've been taking some time to be by myself, and I've spent half my life ill. But just as sure as the tide starts turning, just as sure as the night has dawned, just as sure as the rainfall soon runs dry when you stand in an eye of a storm. I was made to be tested and twisted. I was made to be broken and beat. I was made by his hand, it's all part of his plan that I stand on my own 2 feet. And you know me, my will is eternal. And you know me, you've met me before. Face to face with a beast, I will rise from the east and I'll settle on the ocean floor. And I go by many names also. Some people know me as hope. Some people know me as the voice that you hear when you loosen the noose on the rope. And you know how I know that I'll prosper? Cause I stand here beside you today. I have stood in the flames that cremated my brain, and I didn't once flinch or shake. So cower at the man I've become when I sing from the top of my lungs, that I won't retire, I'll stand in your fire, inspire that me to be strong. And when I am gone I will rise in the music that I left behind. Ferocious, persistent, immortal like you, we're a climbing to different sides. When I was 17 years old, I shouted out into an empty room, into a blank canvas, that I would defeat the forces of evil. And for the next 10 years of my life, I suffered the consequences, with autoimmunity, illness, and psychosis. As I got older, I realized there were no real winners and there were no real losers in psychological warfare, but there were victims and there were students. It wasn't David versus Goliath. It was a pendulum, eternally swaying from the dark to the light. And the more intensely that the light shone, the darker the shadow it cast. It was never really a battle for me to win. It was an eternal dance. And like a dance, the more rigid I became, the harder it got. The more I cursed my clumsy footsteps, the more I struggled. So I got older, and I learned to relax. And I learned to soften, and that dance got easier. It is this eternal dance that separates human beings from angels, from demons, from gods. And I must not forget, we must not forget, that we are human beings.
From the broken comes the beautiful. That's my thought there. From the broken comes the beautiful. That is a beautifully brilliant piece of advice that he gives for 9 minutes and 19 seconds. It's very, very visceral in its connection, and I do need a second because I'm trying to get my thoughts in order while still wanting to talk about the music, because this is brilliant on many levels for many reasons. Musically and lyrically speaking, I talk a lot about sometimes less is more, and there's another expression, keep it simple, etc. But this is perfect less is more. There's no lead instrument here because it's so powerful. A man and his instrument become one energy source. And the energy source through the lyrics are taking you on an ebb and a flow. So it's very well constructed. I wrote perfectly imperfect out of tune. And it's very important that we recognize that he's able to capture a mood through playing an instrument while also creating the lyrics. So while he's singing about, rapping, whatever you want to call it, while he's vocalizing himself, feeling out of tune, feeling lost, feeling pressed, feeling not of himself, out of tune, he's playing out of tune or struggling to play the notes or playing them viciously. I like how he's matching or sometimes conflicting what he's singing and what he's playing. And really super cool as well is the flamenco vibe. I really dig that really subtle flamenco vibe that's kind of running through when he plays musically on the guitar. It's really well done. And I've said this about his previous videos. Dude, his flow is incredible. REN's flow, and I've likened it to a lot of old school cats. I played him for a buddy of mine at work who sat there with his mouth open. He's a huge fan of Eminem, huge fan of Mos Def, and we're both just sitting there like, dude, this guy's flow is incredible. So I really dig how he can go from singing the chorus into the reggaeton vibe, into the straight rap, a little West Coast vibe, a little English Brighton vibe going on there. And he's really good about the proper amounts of each and for how long. So nothing's really out of place. Even though the song itself would make you think, excuse me, what it would normally make you think a sort of staccato right? Like a sort of stuttering vibe happening in the song, but it doesn't. It flows so well, even though the message is frantic. There is a frenetic pace to the importance of getting the message out. It's that specific that you can feel it. You can feel that he's bursting at the seams. You can feel him become demure to his own demon. And we'll talk about that in a second. And that's important to the construction of a song, to take you on that musical journey so that while you're creating the connection of lyrics to your own perspective, to your own history, to your own world, there's a soundtrack that can go along with that helps you make those connections and feel comfortable and safe in those suggestions. This is a very important song. I had seen the CNN report. I had even seen Ren's video about it. I wouldn't worry about it, Ren. I know you're probably not watching this video, but if you are, don't worry about it, bro. The support you're receiving will always overshadow any criticism you get. I'm telling you that right now. Don't worry about disconnected people trying to assume meanings of these are the people that are criticizing Ren, the people that did that. Look, these are the people that'll say, hey, I don't like this. And then you say, okay, what about the song didn't you like? Well, I didn't listen to it. That's who you're dealing with. Don't worry about it. Every song of his I've listened to, I've always made a very close and personal connection. And this one is the closest. This is the most personal because what he's doing, one of the hardest things to do as a songwriter is to take something that is so personal, his own battle, his own struggle that he reveals at the end. You know, this song is about his battle, and yet he's able to construct it in a way and feed it to you in a way that you suddenly become the subject of the story. You make that connection. You understand. You empathize. You sympathize. You're totally involved in his battle that he's talking about right here, because it's a battle we all face. Now, the battle he's talking about, and he did mention it a few times, there were a few phrases in the song that, okay, the more I heard him, I was like, okay, I'm on the right track here. You're thinking Jekyll and Hyde is what he's talking about. We all possess Jekyll and Hyde. When Robert Louis Stevenson wrote that book, he was speaking of himself, as we all are, because we are human. We are only human. Great message there at the end, and I'll get to that. So what he's talking about is the ego, the id, and the superego. The id is the base caveman, right? The superego is the moral guidance, the moral compass, if you will, and the ego is there to mediate between the two and bring pragmatism. In the cartoons, you would see a devil on your shoulder and an angel. Okay, Abraham Lincoln wrote about it and called it the better angels of our nature. And that's what Ren is talking about here. The battle we all face with the ego, the superego, and the id. We all think we're the greatest, and yet we are our own worst critics. And trying to balance that out and find a semblance of acceptance, not acceptance of the world seeing you, but the acceptance of you seeing yourself. And coming to the realization, finding that balance between the superego and the id. The no, you're the worst, and you're the greatest, no one's better than you. You have to find the balance in there to find happiness. Because if you rely on one more than the other, you will constantly be setting yourself up for struggle. And because we now live in a world where they just throw drugs at kids now, he's giving you a message. I talked about it when he did the illest of our time, and how there's two messages here that he's trying to get out to you. He's crying out for this. Folks, there's a couple of generations of kids that have no guidance. They have no direction. They're given no motivation. They're given pills. They're given diagnoses. They're told you can get better, you can get better, you can get better, of helping them navigate between those two worlds. The world of I am the greatest and I am the worst. Somewhere in there is the balance of, oh yeah, I'm just a human, and that's okay. It's one of the more difficult things to come to, and it happens as you get older. And he's explaining to you in the song that as you get older, if you really work on it, you can find that balance. You're going to struggle. There's going to be pain. And I like how he's open about that. I myself went through it when my wife passed away. I had become my own worst critic. I wasn't self-destructive. It was a self-apathy. It's not that I was doing things to hurt myself. I just didn't care if it happened. And I allowed myself to fall into that id. I allowed myself to fall into that I'm the worst person ever, I'm the worst father ever, blah, blah, blah. And I had gotten away from what helps me in my job, which is the super ego. As a performer, you need that super ego. It has to be there, but you also need that id. You also need that critic, and that's your ego in between, finding that balance. And we all struggle with that. And Ren is trying to explain through his music and through his messaging that it's okay to struggle. You are just a human. It's fine. You need to forgive yourself because you set yourself up by listening to one of those more than the other. And the problem is you usually don't come to that until later in life and you've been kicked around a little bit. You know, I've said that if we could gather in a room together and take our problems and physically throw them in the air at the same time, you would still reach for your own. And I would reach for my own. I don't want yours. You don't want me to have yours. And I don't want you to have my struggles. Yet we're all in the room together and we can help each other. And the only way to do that is to A, find the balance between those two worlds, and B, understand that everyone else is struggling right along with you. And then you can find that balance. But we allow one of these two, one of the angel or the devil, to take over and create the doubt or the unrealistic instead of finding the balance and being happy with that balance. And that's what he's struggling with, is finding the happiness in that balance. When for the longest time, other people have tried to tell him how to be happy. Or he felt like he had to do certain things to make others happy, which would then make him happy. And what you come to realize is this is about accepting you for who you are and being happy with that. With all of your faults and all of your greatness, you have to find the balance in between the two. And then you'll find your happiness. You'll find contentment. You'll find satisfaction. And then you can start to see the beauty in everything. You can start to find happiness in every step that you take, understanding that you will fail, you will falter, but it's okay. You're just a human. One of the things I would always train people in, whether it was military or in the civilian world, one of the staunchest lessons was you're going to wake up today and you're going to make a mistake. Be ready for it and be okay with it. One of the hardest things for adults to say, not adults, I would say younger adults, when you're in your late teens, early 20s, some of the hardest things that we say is, I don't know, I need help, I can't. We struggle with that because we feel there's a shame in them. And you have to get rid of that. That's the id. That's the no, that's shameful. No, man. No, you have to come to that balance and say it's okay. Others are struggling as well. And if there's something I can do to help, be willing to help. And if not, just try to be a good example for someone to follow. But it does, like I said, it doesn't happen until later. Usually as you get older, you start to find that balance between the two because you kind of stop caring about it. You know, you kind of, you really do. So it's interesting to watch Ren help others guide themselves through this battle that we all go through, this universal battle. And he's using his individual experiences to shape a narrative and to shape stories and to shape insights that are digestible with a soundtrack. So when you're thinking about it and you're making that connection, it's not so scary. So that's very well done. He's creating I hate saying safe space, but that's what he's doing with his music. And this song is a great example of a very safe place. And I think more people should really listen to this and understand what the messaging is that he's getting through. Instead of sitting back and saying, oh, it's some guy in a chair and he's doing this, sit down and listen to what they're saying. And maybe you'll understand the message a little bit better. So thank you very much for the suggestion. Hi, Ren. Again, I put it off for a reason. So again, thank you for the suggestion. If you have anything else, always let me know. Fill me in down below with anything I don't know, because again, I'm just clicking links here. So if you have something for me, you can link up with me on social media. You can leave it in the comments below. Again, provide the link, because I want to make sure I'm getting the right version, the right quality video. So I'm relying on you, my Sherpas, to guide me through this new music stuff. So thank you very much for the Ren. Hi, Ren. Great track, brilliant message. And again, I love that guy's flow. His flow is incredible. If you are in any way, shape, or form connected with a record label, you should already be contacting this guy. If you're not signing this guy by the end of the summer, if this guy doesn't have a ton of money behind him by the end of the summer, you're not doing your job as a record label to get him all the exposure you can, to get that message out there. That alone should have you, oh, excuse me, sir, would you, big cigar going, be a rock star. Yeah, you should already be banging that guy's door down. He's putting out great messages. He's genuine, and he's got great flow. He's a talented musician. So he's a great musician, great songwriter. There you go. Check. Boom. And he's marketable. So, hi, Ren, thank you very much for that. Again, if you have a suggestion, hit me up with a DM. Leave it in the comments below. Thank you to Connect 200, Music to See, and Aunt Betty's Nut Butter. Don't forget, live streaming Wednesdays, 11 a.m., Saturdays, 2 p.m., the Wyldeside Live from the east side of Music City. Be there. I don't know why I just did that, man. That was my radio guy coming out. I apologize for that. Again, thank you very much for taking time out of your busy day being awesome to give my little video a watch and a listen. Make sure you're looking out for each other. Make sure you're looking out for your neighbor. Try to do at least one good thing a day. I am Eric Clark, and this has been The Wyldeside.